What is going on, guys? It is a beautiful day. Today we're going to be doing a segment on real estate. And what we are going to be doing is driving around here in Palm Coast in Flagler County, Florida, which is where I live. We're going to be driving through some neighborhoods and we're going to be looking for some homes to contact the owners. What I mean by that is we're going to be going through neighborhoods and we're going to be looking for properties that have uncut grass, sticker on the garage from code enforcement, which is something that we have here in Flagler County. So if your grass isn't cut, if you got problems with the house, if the house is, becoming an eyesore to the neighborhood, code enforcement will come and they'll leave a note on your garage. It's a yellow note, pretty much saying, hey, you need to fix this. Or, if it gets to a certain point, we're going to have to fine you for whatever the issue is. So we're going to go drive through some neighborhoods. We're going to look for some of those telltale signs that the property is vacant or absentee, meaning nobody lives there. A thing in Florida is there are a lot of homes that, especially here in Flagler County, I found that people bought properties back when, Palm Coast was first developed, when property was cheap. They bought it as investments, even if they didn't have any real estate, even if they didn't have any real estate knowledge. People were buying properties down here because it was cheap. A lot of older people were buying properties, to come down and utilize them in the winter. But, Palm Coast really started blowing up and developing back in, the late 80s, early 90s. And a lot of the old people that bought properties back then, there's still homes that were bought by older people who, were in their 70s and 80s back in the late 80s and early 90s. But those people have passed on, their family, they haven't done anything with the property just because they're busy with their own lives. And these houses, they just sit and nothing goes on. And what we're going to try to do is go find some of those kind of properties. And there's properties that, are bought by people who live up north. I met a guy and he lived in Pennsylvania and he had 3 properties down here that he had bought as investments, and he got busy with his career up there and never had time to actually use the properties or put them into work how he wanted to rent them out and stuff. So I got in contact with the guy and he ended up actually listing all 3 properties. I got him to list the properties with a realtor who I know here in Flagler County, because obviously I don't have my license yet. So I was able to at least hook him up with a realtor that I knew, and he was able to get those houses sold. So that's what we're going to be looking for. We're going to be looking for absentee properties, and we're going to find out who owns these properties through the public databases. We're going to call them, we're going to email them, we're going to reach out to them to pretty much just say, hey man, I drove past your house, it looks like it's vacant. What's going on here? Are you interested in selling the property? What are your views and what's your future look like for this property? Just ask simple questions like that, figure out what's going on. And then you can get a basis for, is this someone I need to follow up with that is going to want to sell in the future if they don't want to sell now? Or is it someone that, just don't bother because, they're just flat out not interested in selling? So we're going to go right around. We're going to do that. I'll check back in with you guys when we get to the first house, and we'll go over pretty much. I'll show you guys the property. I'll show you guys what we're looking at, what we're looking for. This is something that I think a lot of people need to take advantage of, and I think a lot of people don't because they're just lazy. They don't want to drive around and use gas. But dude, if you want to be better than average, which I've said, we're not doing this to be average. Average is boring. We don't want to be average. We're doing this to stand out. So if you want to be better than everybody else and you want to have what other people don't have, you need to do what other people won't do. We're all people. We're all lazy at certain points in our life. But when it comes down to the stuff that you love and you want to do, you need to put in the maximum effort and do stuff that other people don't. And you will, reap the benefits 100% more than somebody who just relies on average leads and just stuff like that. So get out there. For any real estate agents that are watching, for anyone that's getting into real estate, I am starting out, I am new, but I promise you, I am a grinder, I am a hustler, and I'm going to make it happen. I mean, I'm not even an agent, and I was able to get someone who lives, over 2,000 miles away in Pennsylvania to list 3 properties with a real estate agent here in Palm Coast. The commission from all 3 of those houses, when they do sell, one of them sold, the other one's under contract. which would leave one more after that sells, is, the net commission from those 3 properties is probably around $20,000. So that's $20,000. If I had my real estate license, obviously I would have done the deals myself, but I know an agent here, like I said, and I hooked them up with it. I got them involved. They did all the work. They got everything done. I was simply just a messenger, but it just goes to show, if you grind, if you put in the extra work, you will blow people out of the water, because 90% of the people out there are just going to do the average day-to-day stuff. Don't do the average day-to-day stuff, and you won't get average day-to-day results. All right, guys, I'll check back in with you when we go to that first house. What is going on, guys? So I made a quick little pit stop first before we go check out those properties. There's a liquor store that's next to the Sprint cell phone store where I work at right now, and I was in there the other day. I've made pretty good friends with them. I've actually set them up with Sprint and switched them over from AT&T. But anyway, long story short, the guy in there, he's a younger guy. He lives in Jacksonville, but he wants to move to Palm Coast and start renting. And he was asking, I told him, I was just finished up with my real estate license and stuff. So he wants me to try to find him a rental property. So I just remembered that. So we're going to stop here first. I'm going to go in and talk to him and see, what his budget's looking like, what kind of, apartment he's looking for, what part of town he wants it on, and, just go get that information so I can have that down, so I can find him something and get the ball rolling. So I'm going to go check in with him, see what we're looking at. I'll be back with you guys when I finish with him, and then we'll go off and we'll start looking at some properties. All right. What's going on, guys? So we are back and we are at our first house, and I'm going to spin it around and show you guys in just a sec and point out the things that made me stop and get this house's address, because as you can see when I flip the camera around, there's no way anybody lives here. So we got the address. We're going to plug that into the public records database, see if we can find their phone number, some emails, anything associated with the owner, so we can give them a call and see what's going on with this property. But let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So as you guys can see, this is the house here. It's actually in my neighborhood, so I drive past this house quite a bit, and I never see any action going on here. The landscaping is, as you can see, it's kind of not well kept. You got upstairs in the window there, looks like they put duct tape over the windows. That's been there for a long time now. So just by looking at it and driving past this house every day, there's nothing going on here. So we got the address for this house. Just turn around. We got the address for this house. We're gonna plug it in. We're gonna see what's going on and see if they're interested in putting that house on the market or what their game plan is. All right, guys, so as you guys could see from that last property, just kind of the telltale signs of what we're looking for. Landscaping was not upkept. The garage door had a huge dent in it that hasn't been fixed. I mean, I've driven past the house for the last 3 months now, and that dent's still been there. The upstairs window, no curtains, no blinds on it, and it's got duct tape across it. The duct tape thing, though, that's for anyone that's watching this that lives in Florida. That's something that people will do when there's hurricanes that are coming, is they'll put duct tape in kind of like an X formation across the inside of the window, because what'll happen is if you do that and your window is to break, it prevents the glass from shattering everywhere. The duct tape, it keeps the glass together so it doesn't make a huge mess. But that's a thing that when the hurricane's over, if you live in a house, you're not just gonna leave that. You're not gonna leave that up. That's something that you're gonna take down, clean the window off. And that's another thing, along with the garage door dent, that duct tape has been up in the window for 3 months now. So that's just telltale signs that nobody lives there. So we got the address. We're gonna figure out who lives there, how we can contact them, and figure out what's going on. So I just pulled up on another property here, and this is one, it's in my neighborhood. I've never driven past it before, but they have a note in the window and there's a lockbox on the door. I don't know if that's from the owners or what's going on, but let me spin. I got the address here. I'm gonna take that down, but let me spin the camera around so you guys can see this house. So this is the house right here. I mean, you can see the driveway's got weeds all over it. Definitely landscaping is not upkept. Grass is overgrown. And there you can see in the window that note I was talking about. I don't want to get out and go look at it just because I don't want to, you know, be on someone's property without anyone's permission. The door has a lockbox on it. You can't see it. But yeah, just the driveway right off the bat, those weeds coming up through it, that's another sign, you know, it just has that vacant look to it. But we got the address. We're going to put this on our list as well, and we'll move on and go check out, see if we can find house number 3. So as you guys can see, this is the house here. It actually looks like there was a note from the city on the garage. You can see that blue tape. Those are those vultures I was talking about. I don't know what's going. I don't know if there's like a dead animal or something, but I've never seen that many vultures in my life. Anyway, aside from that, you can see kind of I'm gonna get out in a sec. The foundation just has wear on it, and anything foundation related is a pretty pricey fix. So I mean, at this point, it might be better for an investor to just come in here, you know, with a decent cash offer, buy the house and, you know, fix it up and sell it, rather than list this property just because it needs a lot of work. I mean, unless the people who own this house, wherever they're at, are willing to put, you know, a decent chunk of money into this thing to flip it around and put it on the market, I mean, it would come down to it's all up to them. But I'm gonna hop out in a sec, see if I can get these friggin' birds to go away. They're kind of creeping me out. But yeah, let me go take a look at what's going on here. Yeah, you can see the foundation here is really kind of wearing. Definitely nothing going on here. How you doing? I was just taking a look. I work with a real estate investor. I was just looking at the house.
Oh, it's a hot mess.
Yeah, I've driven past a couple times, and I looked up, tried to figure out who owned it, and it looked like it was an older guy, so.
No, the guy actually died.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and the wife has just shit. They do the lawn. If you take a walk around the back side of the house,
yeah,
you'll see the entire ceiling is on the ground.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
is that from like one of the hurricanes or something?
Huh?
It's actually, the house is actually condemned?
So we were told by the police, yeah. They don't want anybody parking in the driveways. Yeah. They don't want anybody near the house because the whole ceiling inside the house is caved in and on the ground.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So take a walk around the back. You'll see an eyeful.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. So, as you guys may have just heard, I bumped into a neighbor, and yeah, that is, she said the house is condemned, and I kind of see why. I mean, look at that. I'm not going to go over there. I don't know what kind of animals are up there, but yeah, that is not good. So this is definitely an investment property. This is not something you'd look to list. I mean, just being that if it's condemned, she said the police have even said don't park, don't be on the property. Usually, you know, at that point, this might just honestly be a tear down and rebuild on this lot. I mean, it's pretty bad. But yeah, we're gonna go on to the next house before. I don't want to cause any issues, but the neighbor was really nice. She gave us some info. I guess the owner, whoever it was, must have passed away, and the house has just sat here and rotted pretty much. So we're leaving this house. I mean, as you guys can see, there's some death here. Yeah, that is pretty bad. I've never seen something like that. So guys, I just drove around the corner and we found another house already. I'm gonna spin the camera around. I'm not gonna get out at this house because I do not want to it's on a busy road, so I don't want to get out at this house. But let me take the address down real quick. I just pulled into the driveway, so I'm gonna spin the camera around in just a sec and I'll show you guys this house. But this one, pretty much same thing, dude. Same thing, guys. Grass isn't cut. Driveway weeds are everywhere, and there are 2 white notes from the city on the front door. I mean, these are telltale signs. If you keep your eyes open, you will see these. They're all over the place. Just because you can't list them doesn't mean you cannot help an investor who is looking for properties. There are ways you can get compensated for your services. You can, you don't have to list every house. You can help an investor find a property. It doesn't matter. But let me take this address down real quick. Also, guys, this phone right here, I just got this phone the other day. It is going to be my work phone. I'm an iPhone guy, but I got the Note 10 Plus. Reason I got it is because of this bad boy right here, this stylus. I don't need a notepad. I don't need to worry about typing it. It's quick. If I come up on a house, I can literally whip this thing out, and I'll show you guys in a sec. I'm going to write this address down. This address. We are on Burroughs Drive. So like right there, guys, I'm not gonna write the number down because I don't want to give out people's info. But this is an awesome phone. For any of you real estate people out there who are iPhone fanatics, I love iPhone, but I'm telling you, if you give this phone a chance, this thing is awesome. I'll show my dad, and it's got an awesome camera too. So for when you're taking pictures of homes and stuff, the camera on this thing is insane. It is out of this world. But let me spin the camera around. Enough talking. Let me show you guys this house. So guys, you can see, once again, you got these stickers on the door. You got weeds coming up through the driveway. Look at this grass here. I mean, it is so uncut, unkept. Just keep your eyes open, guys, and you will find properties like this. I'm not saying you're going to make money on it. I'm not saying you're going to be able to flip it or list it or sell it. But I'd rather be juggling a bunch of balls at one time and have 1 or 2 fall, not go through. The more you got, the more chances you have of materializing one of them or a couple of them and making money off a couple of them. So guys, like I said, I'm within a half mile of where I live and I've already found 4 properties. So for anyone out there who's in real estate, who is getting into real estate like myself, if you're an investor, whatever it is you're doing, you got to get out there. You just open your eyes. There are opportunities everywhere, and it doesn't mean you have to be an expert. You don't have to be in real estate for 40 years to figure this stuff out. This is all stuff that, if you look at the greats, you look at the people who are extremely successful with real estate, they all have one thing in common, and that is they are always out. They are always looking for deals. Doesn't mean every deal you have or find is going to materialize into something. You'll hit dead ends. You're going to have stuff that will fall through. It's not going to go as planned. But the more, deals you find, the bigger your list is, the more chances you have of those deals materializing and becoming something. So don't just sit around. Don't sit at the office all day. Don't wait or rely on leads that you just get from working at a real estate company. Go out and hunt, go find deals, because there are deals everywhere. I just passed another house. I'm gonna turn around and go back because I passed a couple actually. But like I said, we're on a pretty busy road, so I don't want to wreck my car or do something stupid. But there are houses everywhere. Like, it's insane. You just have to get up, like, go get in your car and just drive. Like, if you're bored, if it's your day off, like, it's my day off right now. I'm not at work. Yesterday, I did the same thing. I went out and I got a list of properties. 10 properties. And are all 10 of those properties gonna turn into something? No. There is a chance 10 out of 10 will be nothing, will be dead ends, will be duds. But guess what? That's 10 that at least I have. At least my probability is going up. So the bigger you can get that list, go around and get addresses, write them down, find out who owns them. Don't be afraid to just pick up the damn phone and call people. It's all about talking to people. Do not be afraid to talk to people. That is the biggest problem, and I see it especially with people that are my age, people that are younger, is they grew up with that whole, texting, not picking up a phone, not calling people. You gotta pick up the damn phone. You are not gonna have, you wanna be rich, you wanna have millions, you wanna be something big, huge like I wanna be. You're not gonna get there. It's not gonna get thrown in your lap by just sitting there and relying on average stuff to happen. It just isn't going to happen. So you need to talk to people. Do not be afraid to talk to people. Do not be afraid to be told no. Like, if you can just learn and you can become numb to people telling you no, you'll be in a good spot. Because if you don't give a crap if someone tells you no, and you can shake it off, you can move on to the next thing, the next deal, whatever it might be, the better and better and better you will become. Don't get hung up on negativity. Don't let one deal that fell through trash your entire week after that. Because if you do, that's 1 week that you're not out looking for deals. You're not trying to search the marketplace to materialize stuff. That's 1 week that you just wasted because you're upset about something that didn't work out how you thought it was going to work out. Guys, you cannot be like that. You cannot get caught up in negativity. That is what distinguishes successful people from average people, is their ability to move on, to move forward, to dust themselves off and keep on going forward. And that's something that I think it's, in some cases, I think some people, are just born that way. It's easier for people to shrug stuff off and keep on moving. And I think I got lucky with that because I've never really been a sore loser when it comes to stuff. I've always just, move on. What's next? What can we do next? And some people, they got to work on it. And everybody can have that mentality. Some people, you just have to work on it more. So if you're getting pissed off, if you find yourself getting mad and wasting time because you're upset something didn't go through, take a step back and just think how much time you're actually wasting that you could be out looking for something new, looking for that next deal that could be better than the one that fell through. So don't waste your time hung up and sad about stupid crap. Get out there, keep fighting, keep pushing. Because the average people are the ones that just let stuff get to them and it burns them out. If you cannot be like that and you can have a better mentality, you will succeed far faster and better than the rest of the people around you. So, enough with that. We're in another section now. We're about a mile away from where I live. And let's see if we can come across something. The sun's getting pretty bright. There's a house right there. I'm going to turn around and show you guys. This one is pretty no-brainer. The roof is all torn up. There are papers on the front door from the city. The yard looks like crap. There is a shutter from the front of the house that is like missing. Yeah, this place is messed up. It's a brick home though, which is good down in Florida with hurricanes and stuff. Instead of like wood frame homes, get a nice block home. They last a lot longer. But let me flip the camera around. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. So guys, this is the property I'm looking at right now. It's a nice brick home. I mean, you can see the shutters torn off the side of the window. And there you go. You got your famous white papers from the city. The roof is torn up. It's kind of similar to the last house we looked at. Not the last one, but the one before that was condemned. There's extensive repairs that looks like need to be done here. So it's kind of a toss-up, I'd say, between a flip or a list. Kind of got to look more into it, get a little more background on it, see if we can find the owner, see what's going on here. But let's move on to the next one. What is up, guys? So I actually ended up, I had to go get gas. I was a little low on gas. I had a pretty good list between yesterday and today. So we're back at home now, and I just pulled the list. I had some of them on my iPhone. I had some of them on my note. So I put them down. We got them on paper in my notebook. I'm going to flip it around and show you guys. We got a list. Let me count them here. So between yesterday and today, we were able to locate 18 properties. And just so you guys know, these 18 properties are within 3 miles of where I live. And that's literally like nothing when you look at the entire size of Flagler County and how big Palm Coast is. Bunnell, Flagler Beach, those are 3 areas in Flagler County that are full of neighborhoods, full of homes. And this is 18 of them just within probably, like I said, 3 miles of where I live. So they're out there, guys. You just need to get in your car, drive, and look. They are in plain sight. You need to get in your car and drive. You need to talk to people. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Like you heard earlier, we talked to a neighbor, found out a lot. Within literally 2 minutes of talking to her, we found out the owner's dead, the house is condemned, and there is nothing going on there. So that is an opportunity that we can now see if we can pursue and take advantage of. Don't be afraid to talk to people, guys. Let me spin it around. Let me show you guys this list real quick. As you can see, it's kind of dark. I'm just covering up the numbers of the houses here. But there you go. You got our 18 properties. And like I said, they're all within 3 miles of where I live. Everything's out there, guys. You just got to go put in the work. All right, so I'm going to end this video here. This is the first real estate segment that I have done. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these, and they're going to just get better and better as we go along. I'm going to get some more equipment to make the filming better, and it's just going to be awesome. So I'm really excited about kicking off this real estate segment. We're almost there. I just heard back from the DBPR, the Department of Business and Professional Regulations here in Florida, who is the ones who review your application. They said that everything is good. I'm just waiting on the email back so I can finally go take that last final test, and I will be done. I'll be home free, and then we can really get to the nitty-gritty, and I'll be showing you guys how I approach each and every single deal that we will take on and do. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like, drop a comment, share, subscribe. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Keep killing it, keep grinding, keep believing in yourself, guys.